Who do we have? Sorry. Cat. Hey, Cat. Hey, Sissy. And I saw Cat say hi, Hammer. There he is. Hey, radio show. Hammer, how are you? Cat says hi, Yogi. Good morning. I love you too, Cat. Um, hey, Charlie. All right, shoes on. Oh, man. Happy New Year's Eve. Hey, Bloom. Hi, Anna. So, Hammer, are you on the road? I thought this might be a work day. I know you're trying to get as many days in, riding that window of opportunity. Not to mix my metaphors. Kat says, Lady Sky also said she wanted to let everyone know that she's okay, but she was at the hospital all night. Something about her leg. Prayers. Sending prayers her way. Thank you, Kat. Hammer says, on the road. Be safe, Hammer. Bloom says hi to Anna. All right, so first off, is the shoe. At least one. Hey, Sniper. January 5th. Just this morning, I got word all the way from across the pond from Richard Lang. Richard Lang has continued the legacy of Douglas Harding, the great British mystic, the founder of the Headless Way, the one who points at our capacity as emptiness itself in order to serve the arising of the universe as well as that personal sense of I. It's a beautiful non-duality expression. It's living experience of the Buddhist Heart Sutra that emptiness is form and form is emptiness, all in this moment. You see that arising of the I, the arising of the ego, of the personality, out of complete nothingness. And you don't have to do anything. You don't disassociate from it. You don't push it away. You just notice it. You notice that it arises and that we act from it. And yet, ultimately, it's not who we are. It's pretty cool. Anyway, he will be up Monday, January 5th. So, coming up next Monday. He'll guide us all through pointing. Long John says, January 5th on a Monday. Hey, Long John. Yep. So, I love Richard Lang. And, hold on, guys. Last shoe's being stubborn. The problem with minimalist shoes is often they are meant to be like form-fitting, which is awesome, but they're not always easy to put on. Sissy says, I'm excited for the upcoming Wolf Supermoon. Nice. Yeah, I was reading a book on Tibetan Buddhism, and I read how Thomas Merton had went in the late 60s. Thomas Merton was a Jesuit monk, great mystic. He also, he was a Catholic monk, but he was one of the first people to bring Eastern philosophy, Eastern thought over to America. I have been doing pretty good on the show, haven't I? So it mentioned how in the last year of his life, Thomas Merton went to Tibet. He met with the Dalai Lama, but he also met a very, very old monk who saw the fact that Thomas Merton didn't know this. He wanted direct teaching, a direct pointing to ultimate reality, to the experience of God. And the monk said it would take several years to achieve this. And Thomas Merton said, well, was there any little glimpse that he could get? And the Lama had saw that Thomas Merton was not long for this world. He only had months left at this time. Um, and he said, I can offer you something now. And he gave him a direct Dzogchen. Dzogchen is the mystical tradition. Mystical sounds mystical, right? But it's direct pointing of reality. And he offered it to Thomas Merton, who experienced that great awakening. He experienced the presence of God. He was soon found dead in his hotel room under mysterious circumstances. Um, anyway, I read that and I started to explore more in depth the Dzogchen teachings, which led me to Sam Harris. Sam Harris is um, mostly known as a political commentator, but he's had some profound. He's also a atheist, sort of. I'm good, Anna. Anna, how are you? Hey, Ellie. If I've missed anyone, hey, Carlos. What was that you ate under there? Leftover oatmeal on the floor. Um, Sam Harris has had some his own insightful experiences, and he talked about Douglas Harding. Douglas Harding is that great British mystic who, in the 1940s, when he was stationed in India in the armed service, he discovered his own absence of a head. You know, of course, the Himalayan mountains are a great place to experience that kind of mystical stuff. Anyway, that sent me down the rabbit hole of Douglas Harding. Passed away in 2007. I did not get the chance to meet with him. However, I did meet online with Richard Lang. Richard Lang had been a student of Douglas Harding since the early 1970s and was so struck by his own discovery that he made it his life mission. He's been doing it ever since. Books, meetings, he'll travel anywhere. And he is coming up on Monday. Awesome. So it's been a big part of my life since 2015. It coincides very nicely with me with A Course in Miracles. Hey, Nino. Nino, my friend. Nino says, New Year's resolution, Yogi. Funny that you mentioned that. Let me read what I wrote. Is it your birthday, Nino? Hey, Preppy for life. Me? I'm amazing? I can't be amazing. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. All right. For Nino, happy birthday. Three times for you, my friend. Each ring of the bell, may it bring a true and joyful blessing in your life, my friend, for this upcoming year. Todd, have a good day too, my friend. So Nino asked about resolutions. And here's my morning writing. But only this prayer. To just go deeper, even further into miracles, and wishing only continued healing for this year. This isn't a resolution nor even an intention. Both terms seem to offer too much force for what's implied here. The last few years have often felt devastating in the loss they've offered. Yet in review, I see how miracles have unfolded, with each loss and every down point being pivotal to the directions that I've turned, closer to true forgiveness, kinder and more compassionate in my response. Not perfect, but aware. And that's the miracle, a shifting perception, seeing how reality is always an underlying expression of love in every situation, and that only my thoughts of being alone and scared told me otherwise. As I turn more often towards the presence of love, I see that indeed the script have been written and that everything is happening in perfect opportunity to be forgiven. This past year, I've chosen love more often, forgiven quicker, and relied on miracles to guide me through some dark moments. No, not always easy, but always rewarding in the peace that's been found. At the year end, at the vantage point of reveal, I see so much grace present, a smile from the Holy Spirit offering comfort at every moment, and a plan playing through. This year has been perfect with just the right lessons given. I don't have a resolution for this upcoming year, no goals, but only this prayer. We trust our way to Him and say Amen. In peace, we will continue in His way and trust all things to Him. In confidence, we wait His answers as we ask His will in everything we do. He loves God's Son as we would love Him, and He teaches us how to behold Him through His eyes and love Him as He does. You do not walk alone. God's angels hover near and all about. His love surrounds you, and this be sure that I will never leave you comfortless. It's from A Course in Miracles. The very end. I love you. So, the past few years, everyone has suffered. Hey, Zed. COVID was devastating for many. I know many friends that lost loved ones. I lost my business due to the effects of COVID and some other things. I lost 2 vehicles. The year after everything began to calm down, I lost my father. My partner, the person that I was with for 23 years, surviving everything together, even divorce, her and I parted ways. Not without a great deal of sadness, not without a lot of mourning, but not with any animosity. She didn't do anything to try to hurt me. And the love's still present, but she has her own thing that she needs to do. Here's the thing. In that loss, seeming loss, in that devastation, and not knowing what to do, a lot of fear. Such an important figure in my life. The support that she offered, I can't even begin to describe. And yet, as I wrote this morning, it came with opportunities. Had I been stuck in the mourning of that loss, those opportunities would have never presented themselves. I would never have felt the experience, the true experience of the Holy Spirit whispering, turn this way. The word for the past few days is pivot. I never would have pivoted. As many of you know, that I am making a full-time living, such as it is on YouTube, and conversations like this, and guests. I have had people that were important to me on my channel decide to part company with me, to leave, for various reasons. And it felt, again, like a devastating loss. However, had that not happened, I would not have brought guests up the way I have been doing it. Everything unfolded perfectly, even when it felt horrible, even when I felt like I don't want this to happen, and why is this happening? In review, and sometimes it was just a matter of moments before I could offer this review, I can see how everything played out perfectly so, in order to what I can only call now my special function in life. Hey, Jamie. I've had some people be what seems to me out and out mean. You know, when my partner left, it was only moments before I went live. And I found myself on my live stream openly crying, tears coming down my face, my heart broken. I've never hid anything on my live stream. This is, I live my life out loud. Truth is, I live my life as a quiet whisper, um, but I do it publicly. Um, I'm here to learn. I'm here to demonstrate, and that means going through everything and showing people, hey, life is hard, and life can truly, truly feel like it sucks. But we can navigate it with love. We can navigate it with the grace that's ever present. We can navigate it by forgiving what's at hand. I'm not talking about forgiving people. I don't need to forgive my old life partner. I don't need to forgive. She did what was absolutely best for her, um, as I have to do for myself. But I definitely mourned that loss, or what seemed like a loss, right? So I put it all out there. I couldn't hold those tears back if I wanted. Many of you, some of you were actually there. I bring this up because that was actually clipped and used against me by someone I care about. Um, that was weaponized. Didn't feel good. And yet, even that, I see how it allowed me to turn deeper towards forgiveness, towards a miracle, towards feeling the presence of the Holy Spirit saying, yes, even this serves everything, everything. So, to answer Nino's question, do I have a resolution? Not really, but I do have a continuation to keep turning deeper and deeper and deeper to Spirit, to keep forgiving everything that comes up, um, and to see what happens. You know, 2026. Who knows? This might be the year I finally grow hair. Not on my head, but maybe my beard will decide to sort itself out. All right. Sorry, guys. Let me catch up in the chat. Longa says, stuck in a loop. Pivot out of a loop. So speaking of goals, hey, Jamie, what's going to be your fitness goal for the year? Hey, Mask, resentment and complaints are appropriate, neither for oneself, no others. Nice. Thank you for that. Sissy said, what? Emma says, midnight to noon right now. Yogi, a lot of gypsies have stopped this week, which has extended my season. Well, extra work for you, which I know that you want. I know right now you want to extend that season as long as possible. Hammer, we're going to keep continuing prayers. As long as you're on the road, we're going to keep offering those prayers for you, my friend. Wessa says, grow, baby, grow. What's up, Wessa? Jamie says, I think 10 pull-ups could easily be doable by the end of the year, maybe 15. Awesome. And you got excellent pull-up form, too. Sissy says, I can't imagine anyone weaponizing your testimony against you. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Ellie. David says, thanks, buddy. Why don't you hang around and just observe? Jamie says, I could probably add 2 or 3 more just by losing a few pounds of fat. Charlie says, that's terrible. It wasn't fun. It wasn't pleasant. And it was brought to my attention. So it was done privately, behind the scenes, and someone told me about it. But it was an opportunity The forgiveness that is offered through A Course in Miracles is seeing through what's happening, what appears to be happening. So it's a deeper kind of forgiveness. It's a more profound type of forgiveness, and it brings you peace. But it's got to be practice. It's not always easy. It's not always forthcoming, but it can, like anything else, become a habit. Very fortunate that it's becoming a habit. Jimmy says calisthenics prefers leanness, so that's also my goal this year. Are you going to do more calisthenics, or are you going to be doing more stuff with weights? Or a nice mixture of both? And you do have a good mixture of both. Happy New Year to you, Ellie. Longja says, I'm even having trouble letting my own mother back in, Yogi. I'm hurt because she dismisses me, and I don't believe she trusts my judgment, which hurts badly. I imagine so. I had similar instances with my mom, my own mom. But here's something I can tell you, Long John. When my mom developed Alzheimer's, every single resentment I ever had dropped. Not at once, but working through the days, the weeks, the months, and eventually the years, I saw how none of them mattered. Nothing my mom ever seemed to have done to me mattered. She was losing days, she was losing memories, she was losing connections, and all she had left was that present moment, and that present moment had a lot of fear because she could see what she was losing. She was seeing that growing dependency. And she turned to me with such love and such trust that I never even imagined existed in her. She indeed trusted me, now more than ever. She couldn't show it before. Her lack of trust was based in fear that I would not be able to be as successful as she wanted me to in life. It wasn't unfounded. I didn't do much to offer proof that I was going to be a success in the way that she wanted for me, out of love. Samin, my friend, how are you? Happy New Year. Longer says, I'm sorry that happened to you, Yogi. What an evil thing to do. You know what? It wasn't evil, though. It was just a way of thinking that's what they needed to get what they wanted. It wasn't pleasant, it wasn't cool, but it wasn't evil. It was just what they thought they needed to do for whatever reason. Jimmy says, I want to do weighted calisthenics. Weighted calisthenics did not agree with me too much. Jamie says I did a fat scanner, came out at 18.7. Not sure how accurate that is. I want to get it down this year. Yeah, it doesn't really have to be accurate because as you get it down, it'll go down, right? Does that make sense? Hold on, let me see. I'm looking kind of stressed. You think that will help? So, you know what, Long John? Eventually, that animosity, that lack of trust that you perceive your mother has for you, eventually, I don't know how or in what way, it'll start to drop by itself. You will both be forced to confront each other. Maybe health reasons, maybe, who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? But why wait? You can't do anything with your mother's thoughts, her beliefs, her attitude, but you can soften your own. You can open up. You can maybe explore self inquiry um, on why they affect you so much. Such complicated feelings that we have with our parents. You can explore that all now. And you can let any resentment go right now. You can free yourself. So when that time does come, you're not confronted all at once. Any of that make sense, Long John? Hey, Aubrey. Hey, I appreciate you joining, Aubrey. Aubrey says I just joined. God bless. God bless you too. Let's see. Leon says, pulled an all-nighter. Yep, it's 5:31 for us here. I hope you're able to get some rest now. Exactly, Sissy. Don't wait until the deathbed to drop the grievances of resentment. Kennedy says, what will you be doing for this New Year, Yogi? New Year Eve? Be doing, I'll be here. I have a guest this afternoon, Mark Landau. Mark Landau was very high up as an attendant. He worked for and with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, founder of the Transcendental Meditation Movement. He was the Beatles guru. Mark Landau was with him for about 10 years. Met all of the famous people passing through, learning Transcendental Meditation. He left. He's done a whole lot of stuff in between. He's written 10 books. Wrote a wonderful book on forgiveness meditation. And now he's 79 years old. He had some health issues. He was unable to play guitar and sing the way he used to and wanted to. But he's using, what's the name of the app that you guys use? Is it an app? Whatever. He's making music again. And he's so happy. And he's offering it. I'm going to help promote a bit of his music, just mentioning it. He also has been following the teachings of the Whispering Cedars, which is sort of a channeled shamanic philosophy on living close to the land, turning and surrendering everything to God, communal living, but not super close. They believe that everyone should have about 2.2 acres of land to be able to grow their own food in a very specific way. And when you do, it's personally nutritious, meaning that the food has just the right nutrients for you because you're the one who grew it. It's sort of along the lines of the Finhorde Gardens off the coast of Scotland. Anyway, he's been living that philosophy for a few years, the best that he's been able to. The last time he came up, we had as he called it, it was a technical disaster. It was pretty bad. But just enough leaked through that some people are interested, and Mark will be back this afternoon. We're going to talk about all that. And then Squirrel Sniper is going to open the doors to the Esoteric Lounge this evening. He says, how I'm not tired. Well, are you used to this schedule, my friend? He says, speaking of God, I got a comic version of the Bible. Nice. Long John says to Wasa, I appreciate your comment and we'll keep you in your prayers. Hey, Long John, did you see Wasa's video that he made for all of us? Completely awesome. Yep, so that's what I'll be doing New Year's Eve. Same thing. Hey, Lucy. Lucy comes in with the unicorn vibes. Barbecue meat sounds good. Yep, that's what Samin and Praveen are going to do. Samin says, haven't preparing the meat since morning for barbecue. Just sit down for your live. We'll send you the pictures. Wish you were here with us for the barbecue. It'd have to be veganized for me. You know those pesky vegans, they show up. They want everything served just right. My advice for everyone, never invite a vegan over for dinner. They're just nothing but trouble. Longner says, I didn't, Yogi. I'll have to check it out on his channel. Yeah, it is completely awesome. All the way down to the Star Trek shirt that was mentioned. Hey, Robin. Anna says, what will happen in the future? We will choose love. That's the answer, Anna. For a specific, I don't know. But I can say that in the future, we will choose love. Sissy says, Yogi gets the potato salad. Well, even that's used with mayonnaise. I get the potato. No need to salad it up. Just give me the potato. That's all I need. Just hand me a potato. That's not. Hey, I didn't see you come in. Morning, Lucy. Hope you're well. Somebody says, Robin, you look green. Brent says, you can serve the vegan person a lot of vegetables. This is true. I do like grilled pineapple. Surely we get some mushrooms, broccoli, corn. That all sounds good. Lucy says, I need my sugar sweets. I will always have that in my diet. And the energy drink. What's the energy drink that you like? Is it Monster? Melissa says, yucky mayonnaise, can't stand it. It's sort of a weird thing, isn't it? Sissy says, I forgot mayo has eggs in it. They do have veganized mayonnaise. I don't get a whole lot of veganized stuff. Technically speaking, I can eat a vegan version of almost everything everyone else eats if I want to. But me, as a friend said, just give me a plate of vegetables, give me some rice, give me some lentils, give me lots of fruit, oatmeal. I'm good to go. What's up, Robin? Everything okay with you? Anna says, we will choose love. We will. I promise you that, Anna. I promise you that. Sissy says, probably because I think mayo is gross anyway. Melissa says, mayonnaise left on your head for 72 hours will regrow hair. Scout's honor. I need a personal demonstration of this, Melissa. It's not that I doubt you. Neon says, God is good. God is good. God is great. God is good. I believe you. Lucy says, Monster, and my favorite is Ultra Sunrise. I've never had a Monster before. My stepdaughter drinks it. My sister drinks it a lot. Back when I was mobile, back when I had a car, she would often ask for a ride up to the supermarket just to buy buttloads of it. Buttload is, by the way, an official measurement. It's different for everyone. All depends on the butthole capacity. Neon says, should I laugh at what you just said, Cypher? Because I'm trying not to. You should go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and laugh, Neon. Funny Mofo says, Bill could probably give crazy philosophical advice. I don't know about advice. Advice gets you in trouble. Susie says, Monster drinks. I do like, and the Monster Zero in the white with silver can is my favorite. Hey, Smash Rosa, that's a pretty awesome name. What do you do? Let's see. Well, I start out with existing. That seems like a full-time occupation. It's not easy. You ever tried non-existing? Takes even more effort. So for me, the main thing I do is exist, and then I throw in a whole uh, boatload of extra stuff, like breathing, like blinking, like speaking, uh, heart beating, brushing my teeth, criticizing mayonnaise, talking about spatulas and spoons, eating a lot of oatmeal. I also spend an inordinate amount of time attempting to put my shoes on every morning. Uh, I mainly sit here and wait for Ellie to come in and yell at me to put my watch on. What else? I do some yoga. I wear glasses. I beard. Bearding is a pretty difficult. You ever sit here and actually tried to beard? These hairs don't spring up by themselves. I offer myself as complete emptiness as the template for existence to take place. Um, what else do I do? I think. Therefore, I'm actually not, because I'm the capacity to think and not the thoughts themselves. Do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, apparently the max. Hey, Marlon. Capacity are about 2 raccoons, Lucy. I have no idea what I stepped into. All I know is every once in a while I look at the screen and Marlon comes in and he has an absolutely profound statement that has no context to me whatsoever and yet continuously blows my mind. Bradshawty says, you can exist, I will be drinking beer. We all do what we got to do. Hey, Robin. Let's just hang out, my friend. No need to go after Sniper. Or did you come here to hang out with Sniper, or did you come here to hang out with all of us? Happy New Year to you, Daniel. Smith says, well, rice and lentils is a staple Indian dish, and I often put potatoes in it too. And I also use turmeric, which is a staple in Indian dishes too, isn't it? And here in our state, we are crazy about it. We call it dal bhat. In Bengali, it's our favorite comfort food. I eat it every single day. Yes, butthole capacity, and it's different. It's it is different for everyone. Funny says he did it. Me? What did I do? Hammer says, have you seen this story? What story, Hammer? Oh, Yogi, you find this on Google? This wallaby loose in South Jersey. I haven't seen that, but I'm going to check it out. Man, all I can say is run, wallaby, run. Be free, my friend. Be free, wallaby brother. Thanks for sharing that, Hammer. Now, Jim, now Marlon's comment is starting to make sense. Robin says, had the greatest job in the world for 20 years. What did you do, Robin? What was the job? Gander says, did you hear Google George Clooney moved out of the United States and I guess he's moving to France now? I thought he did that a while back. I thought he moved to like Italy or something. Marla says, Yogi, maybe could we do a round of breath work? Yes. Just a minute or two, and we'll do it. We'll do it before we close out for sure. Mohammed, my friend, Happy New Year to you. Hello, everyone. Today is last day of 2025, and tomorrow is the first day of 2026. We wish you a happy year filled with health, love, and peace, and to you and your family as well, Mohammed. Sending love to your mother, my friend. Cannon Foodie says, well, I'm going to share a recipe for mashed potatoes with you. Could we unmash the potatoes, though? Just potatoes? You can make it with 2 potatoes, fried onions, chilies, and salt. It's the best food in the world, and you eat it with rice and lentils. It sounds good. That's what says. Thank you, Muhammad. Robin says, travel the world to strange new places, meeting different types of people. That's awesome. And you got paid for it. Hi, Florence. Neon says, Jay Florence is here. What's this? You guys know me way too well. Scarily well. He won't abide anything mashed. I do all my own mashing. We got some unicorn vibes. Thank you, Lucy. Susie says, Canada, that sounds like something I would enjoy daily. Susie says, that sounds like an amazing vocation. It sure does, doesn't it? Marlon, in about 2 or 3 minutes, we'll do some breath work. Give me some guidance here. Marlon, how are you feeling? Do we need to be energized? Do we need to bring a sense of calm? What's it says? Mashed potatoes was my favorite food growing up, even though I only got it twice yearly. Why only twice? Why only twice yearly? Longton says it's been a long December, and there's reason to believe that maybe this year will be better than the last. Beautiful. I love the Counting Crows. You know, they did a wonderful acoustic version of Ripple. I have sung Ripple here before. One of my, I think, a lot of people's favorite Dead song. Probably some water breathing would be best. Okay. So what we will do in a few minutes, you guys can start thinking about it now. We're going to do nasal breathing using that ujjayi breath, that ha sound that we worked on this yesterday, remember? It's where we're literally making that ha sound like a gentle snore. As we breathe in through the nose for a count of 4, there's a slight yet uncounted pause. And then we breathe out through the nose for a count of 4. Notice the pause again, and we're going to repeat. We'll do it for 10 years. Ooh, 10 years. Yes, we're going to do that for 10 years. 10 rounds. Florence says, I shall be immortal. Awesome. Let us know how it goes. For those who don't know, in the tradition, one of the traditions that I was taught to offer breath work, it's been categorized in 3 ways. We have coffee breathing, just like it sounds, energizing. Energizes us, picks us up, warms us up, just like coffee, right? Remember, it's just a metaphor. Then we have water breathing. Water breathing is neutral. If you need a little bit of a pick me up, it picks you up. If you need to bring down and calm down, it helps calm you down. It can go in any situation that we need it. And then we have whiskey breathing. Whiskey breathing brings us really deep down into that deep state of relaxation, rest and digest. When we're anxious, when we're having a panic attack, when we're using it as sleep hygiene, that's the breath we want to use. Sissy says, peppers and tomatoes are also nightshades, bro star. What's the matter? I would starve without potatoes, peppers, and tomatoes because they are most affordable and delicious. Potatoes have fed a nation. Lately, it's been sweet potatoes for me. Sweet potatoes are not nightshades, by the way. They're not true potatoes. They are tubers, though. Extremely nutritious. They actually have more fiber than regular potatoes, um, if I'm not mistaken. So, before we begin breath work, any questions about that breath work? There are over 300 types of potatoes in Peru alone. Isn't it funny how some of the foods from the Americas spread overseas and became staple there? Um, that, potatoes truly are a staple in um, Ireland, used in quite a few German recipes as well, if I'm not mistaken, right, Marlon? Um, Potatoes, or I'm sorry, tomatoes, also coming from South America. And yet, can you think of Italian dishes without automatically thinking of tomato sauce? Melissa says that's right. We had sweet potatoes, yams more often. Marlon says bean, lentils, and peas for me. Extra practically free protein along with your carbs. Absolutely. Except for that pea part. Trevor says, I'm game, I'm 9. Well, my friend, it's good to know who you are at an early age. Uh, may you rest assured in your identity. May you be at peace at it. And may those you love and those who love you uh, be at peace with that as well, my friend. Hey, William. Well, it says, yeah, potatoes are an absolute staple in Germany, especially some states. I don't, since when do gay 9-year-olds have beards? It's an excellent question. Maybe 29. Marlon says, one of the schools I went to actually had a local potato fest to celebrate potatoes. Man, every place should have a potato fest. And how much they helped the poor back in the day. If you grew your own potatoes, forage for greens, nuts, and berries, you'd be pretty good. You'd be pretty good. Long John says, Sniper, I loved you in Wasservin. Yeah, it was awesome. Um, as well as Miss Flipper's spontaneous appearance. All right. Sissy says, the children are out of hand, Yogi. Yeah, they're having fun. Long John said, with the fishbowl, yes. They'll calm down once I end the live stream. All right. They'll probably leave once I start doing breath work. That bores everyone. I always watch the, you have a certain number in the live stream and you start doing breath work and it drops by 10 by breath 2. Long just says, I mean, to spank them, Yogi. For the most part, if you're a mod, we have top mods, but if you need to do something for your own peace of mind, I I do not begrudge that whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? If you need to take care of situations to protect others, protect yourself, um, do what you need to do. We'll sort it out later. I'm never gonna judge anyone for having to do something to make sure that they're feeling good. Long just says I don't ever do any moderating. Sniper got that. Sniper does have it. Anna says she's ready. All right, here we go. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to notice the breath. We're going to exhale all through the nose. Exhale for a count of 4. I'm going to guide you through it. We're going to begin by closing our eyes. Unless you're driving. If you are driving a truck, if you're trying to avoid wallabies on the interstates of South Jersey, keep your eyes open. You never know when those wallabies are going to pop up in front of you. With eyes closed, if you're not driving, bring your attention to your nose and just notice that you're breathing in through the nose and you're exhaling through the nose. Just notice. Be the observer of the breath. Be the witness to the breath. Let your attention travel downwards and notice your belly, that as you breathe in, your belly very gently pushes outwards, expanding. And as you exhale, your belly falls back. It's very similar to an ocean's tide. The belly expands like the incoming tide, gently falls back like the outgoing tide. And as we think about that tide, let's introduce that ocean-sounding breath. Breathing in with that ha sound like a gentle snore, exhaling with a ha. Literally the sound of the ocean, that soft tide, rising and falling, ebbing and flowing. Count to 3, and on the next breath, right after the count of 3, we're going to breathe in through the nose for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3. Breathing in for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Out for 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. In for 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. Let the breath go. Let it return to its easy and natural state. Calm, relaxed. Still being witness to the breath. The observer. As well as the observer to every thought and emotion that passes through. You are the witness, and the witness is always, ultimately, unaffected by that which passes through, by that which it is witness of. In that state of being the witness, there's no anxiety, there's no tense moments, there's only and ultimately peace. When you're ready, open your eyes. I'll see you in the chat. Steve watches videos. Um, I don't know if you were here for the breath work, but I addressed it towards the end for your question. How do you lower anxiety in a tense moment? Self-regulating. Anxiety doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in the accumulation of anxious thoughts that we store in our body. So every thought is stored unless it's expressed. And it'll surface in a situation where we wish to be calm, but we end up being very tense or anxious or whatever. As we practice self-regulation, we are noticing what's going on in our body. As we're leading up to states of anxiety, are we breathing through the mouth? Are we chest breathing instead of belly breathing? Are our shoulders tense? Are they up towards the ears? Have we balled up our hands into fists? Is our jaw clenched, tense? Self-regulate. Begin to unclench the hands. Let your shoulders fall down towards the ground. Relax the chest and start breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, noticing that your belly rises and falls. Just doing that, we begin to relax. Anxiety begins to lessen. We become responsive instead of reactive. Then, if need be, add in that ocean breathing that I just described, a little ha sound as we breathe in and out. It doesn't have to be loud. Only you have to know that you're doing it. And then to relax even further, lengthen the exhalation. Just do this throughout the day. And then you find that those anxious moments become less. Anxiety lessens. Because you've self-regulated through the day, and those triggers that still might be present, they now have less of an impact. You can deal with it a little easier. See if you're still with us. And by the way, Nito, I do eat collard greens, not that often. Mainly I eat kale. You're welcome, Arlen. Lucas says, should I buy an Asian massage to reduce stress? I don't think it has to be Asian. You're welcome, Anna. Anna says, thank you so much, Yogi. I do have anxious thoughts. The key is don't become anxious about our anxious thoughts. We have them. We have anxious thoughts, and it's okay to have those thoughts. What happens is we have those thoughts, and then we think we shouldn't have them, that it's only going to lead to bad things. So we resist them, which just causes anxiety. When you're witness to those thoughts, and you can label them, in Vipassana meditation, everything is labeled. So a thought will come by, and you say, thought, thought, thought. And you might even identify the thought. Anxious, frustrated, whatever. And just notice the thought. Soon you even let go of labels, and the thoughts just start to wander through like a cloud passing through a clear sky. A clear sky is always unaffected by that which passes through. A storm has never upset the sky. No tree branch reaching through, no airplane, no mountaintop, no bird flight. Nothing has ever upset the sky. That is your nature. You are clear, open skyness itself. The more you relate to beingness, the less you're concerned about those thoughts. This is the secret. Our friend, he was up a couple Saturdays ago, Chris Nybauer, No Self, No Problem. He talked about Krishnamurti's secret. J. Krishnamurti, the great philosopher. His secret was, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have an anxious thought, doesn't matter. You have a pleasant thought, doesn't matter. Someone says something about you, doesn't matter. You know, there's a line in A Course in Miracles. Not very many people have seen this line. It mainly goes unnoticed. And it says, it repeats itself, all things forgiven, all things forgiven, all things forgiven. And Jesus says, all things forgiven, except when you step in someone else's dog poop and then seek vengeance. It's actually there. It's in the Course of Miracles. Florence says, sorry I fall asleep. It happens here quite a bit. Sometimes I make myself fall asleep. If I'm ever suffering insomnia, I just talk to myself. And I'm like, man, this guy is boring as heck. What's it says, we got to know the Course is saying that way. Long just says, the Rock is a great philosopher. It doesn't matter. I was going to try to yell it the way the Rock does, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Too early in the morning. All right, guys, I got to go. It's did an hour. Long just says, like collard greens and mustard greens. Also love kale. Me too. Steamed, not overly steamed though. Kat says, oh my God, is that why I'm tired all the time? Yes. It's the Yogi effect. Sorry, Kat. You should have known. What's says, tell the poo it doesn't matter. Doesn't listen. The poo doesn't matter. Our thoughts about the smell of poo on our shoe matters. Thank you, Charlie. I will enjoy the day. I'll be back, guys. 1 o'clock. Mark Landau will be coming up. Come by. Ask him a question about meditation, about mantra, about the days with Maharshi Mahesh Yogi. Ask him about practicing forgiveness meditation. Ask him about the whispering cedars, living close to the land, communal life, being one with spirit, one with the earth, one with trees, one with the sky, one with the clouds, one with the wind, and one with each other. And ask him about his music. Ask him about being 79 and still wanting to be creative, still wanting to be productive, and still wanting to find ways of offering beauty to the world. Life goals, right there. Thank you, Sissy. Sissy's link is in the chat. Hey, Paul. Thank you. Happy New Year from the United States. Right back to you. Bye, Neon. Love you too, Long John. Kat says, oh, I didn't mean you, Yogi. I mean me talking to myself all the time. Nope, you are fascinating. I know that you're fascinating because I listen to you all the time. You're welcome, Anna. Guys, make sure you go hang out with Sissy. Is this a live or a premiere? It is a premiere coming up at 6:30, so not too far at all, guys. I will see you over there. I'm going to take my walk, and then I'll be there to hang out. I got a few things to do. Thanks. Like I said, come on by. Hang out with me and Mark. Let me know what you thought of my guest yesterday. Bye, Samin. Enjoy the barbecue. What's it say? 6:30 Eastern. Nope, that will be with Sniper. This will be 1 o'clock Eastern. Longja says, what's it restored you back into a golden god, Yogi? It was truly amazing. It was. I'm hoping that's going to be how 2026 unfolds. The return to my golden godness. Sissy says, episode 2, please. You got it. All right, guys. Love y'all. Take care.